Hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl Enhanced Edition. As you might have remembered, last time we completed our first quest, got some rewards. Before we leave now, we are going to trade in some of the loot we got. Don't need any of these pistols anymore because we got something better. We're going to trade in the slightly more damaged shotgun.
Not bad. Some pretty good stuff you've got there. All right, well, drop by if you get any more.
And we're going to take a nice, easy second mission. We're going to purge the area from mutants. Now, this one is more than likely going to be
Well, good hunting, Stalker.
blind dogs. Due to how early in the game we are, you see you get the special task from the trader. That is going to be a task requiring us to go to a much deeper area of the zone to acquire some military documents. We'll take a look at our map right here. Where's the area of mutants? Right there. You might remember in the last episode I said these little circles with the 3 triangles in them mark a stash. It's going to be on the way to our goal. So we should pick that up on the way there. This area that we are in right now is called Cordon because it quite literally is the military cordon into the zone. The map uses a mixture of real-life satellite imagery and the in-game map. These areas that are much sharper are going to be actual in-game areas. As you can see, mixed with real map footage. This is our rookie village here. That's going to be a military base right at the entrance of the zone. This is the Chernobyl exclusion zone, which means that entering it is illegal, which is why most stalkers do not actually use their real name. That would be why stalkers tend to have rather funky names, like vampire or wolf. This field, I believe these are either vortexes or springboards, one of those two. Our trusty bolt should keep us from getting destroyed here. When in doubt, toss a bolt. And now, we should be right on top of our stash. And here it is right here. A little bit disguised, might be hard to see, but it is this backpack. Nothing much, just a pistol and some ammunition. But still, that's a free pistol, free ammunition. If nothing else, we can sell it. Gonna pop out the old double barrel here. Looks like there's another stalker there. As you can see, he's a yellow dot on our map. You might remember I mentioned last time that other stalkers or bandits or other enemies that are human will appear on the map, and that little currently empty dot in the bottom right of the map will light up with a number showing us how many people it detects, in this case 1, because that guy is right there. Of course, mutants do not set off that counter. See, the bolt is very, very handy because it lets you set off anomalies. And although it can be easy to see them, and it's definitely easy to know when you're close because your screen gets an effect on it, and you hear a Geiger counter like beep, that effect can actually obscure the exact positioning, which makes the bolt quite handy. A particularly skilled stalker can also use a bolt to set off an anomaly and run through while it is set off. can be a little hard to see, but these dogs are in fact blind. They're not just called blind dogs for show. Now, there's many theories as to how they can see, whether or not they have enhanced senses. I like to believe that they are psychic and are able to psychically track their prey. Not necessarily the best psychics, but psychic nonetheless. Alright. You see this large embankment here. There's a railway on top of it. Over there is a bridge that has come down. That bridge is the only surefire safe way to get through this area. As you can see, this embankment blocks the whole thing, and it's got that wire fence along it. Right here are going to be Ukrainian soldiers. They will charge me for each crossing I attempt to make. Should be 500 rubles. Now, there's two ways you can deal with it. You can either just pay the bribe, or you can kill them all. I will not be killing them because it's quite difficult to do, just in general, especially when I have such low level gear. See, on the PDA of the deceased stalker, I found some information on how the anomalies in this tunnel work. In which case, they slowly fade over time. Grab that, and I'm going to rush through. That's not a real body. Neither is that. Those are just set dressing. So is that. And I'm through. That was quite dangerous, and I would not recommend you doing that unless you know what you're doing. Let's take a look at what I got. If I remember correctly, this should be completely trashed. Yes, it is. So, Shadow of Chernobyl is a game in which real-world weapons are used. Of course, they tend to have their names changed. This Viper, in this case the noiseless Viper because the silencer permanently mounted on it, it's actually an MP5. So you can see there's an icon on the right very helpfully telling me that this rifle is busted. Well, not rifle, submachine gun, but it is busted. It's no good. Oh, there's another neat little quirk. You have to specifically unload any ammunition. For example, I could move to my backpack. Move to slot. Unload. It really depends on what ammunition you have on hand. This game does have some... There's that random ambiance. Whether or not that's really some NPC getting in a gunfight or not, who knows? But this game does have multiple ammunition types. For example, one of the rewards I can get for turning in this quest should be slugs for my shotgun. Now I'm going to sneak right here. You might be able to see those Ukrainian soldiers down there who will charge me if I try and cross without going through, and will shoot me if I try and cross without paying them. Now technically they're supposed to just kill me outright because I'm a stalker. I'm not here legally. That's kind of the whole thing about stalking. Nothing in there. Gonna take advantage and jump off here. So, entering into the zone is illegal. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that there. So, technically, they should be shooting me on sight. But, they are not above making a quick buck. You see that there? I do believe this is... If those others were vortexes, then this is a springboard. If they were a springboard, then vice versa. Or it could just be the same. You can kind of hear it rumbling. See, this is a little bit of environmental storytelling. It has destroyed the wall here. On the other side of that is an artifact. I want it. But it's in the way. Now, typically, I try and keep any non-game aspects from you, to preserve your immersion. But in this case, I am going to save the game, so just try and ignore this menu. Alright, now what we're going to do is... got stuck. Such is the danger of the zone. I'm bleeding, gotta do that. Ouch. Quite dangerous, quite dangerous. Bleeding can kill you. In game and in real life. That sucked. That was not as clean as I would have liked it to be, but I've got a stone flower. Not the best artifact in the world. Radiation will eventually kill the player. That's why I have this vodka. It's the cheapest way to get rid of radiation. All these have radiation, but they do all make me slightly more resistant to different damages. You can see here, I'm wearing a leather jacket. Those are the protection it gives me. Plus 9%. There are some anomalies that will make you more resistant, or some artifacts that will make you more resistant to certain damages, and some artifacts that will make you less resistant. Gonna take a look through here. There's a body here. This should be a bandit. You recognize these guys because they're always wearing either these black coats or long trench coats. Take what he's got on him. He ain't gonna need it. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Oh, that is nice. I don't know if you saw that, but that is a bandit coat. At risk of looking like a bandit myself, I will be wearing that because, if I remember correctly, yeah, at the very least 1 point better in everything, and for rupture and bulletproof cap, 5 points better, or actually 6 points better. So I will be sticking with this bandit coat for now, and I think it's time to head back and turn in those missions. Now, going back to the Noiseless Viper, as you could see, it was almost completely destroyed. Now, in the base game, there is no way to repair damaged weapons. You can repair damaged armor, it's a bit fiddly, but you can do it. Weapons, you're out of luck. However, there is a way with mods. You can get a mod that will have a trader give you the option to repair your weapons. Now, I typically try and play with no mods for the benefit of the viewers, so you can see the vanilla unmodded experience. A little bit of weather there. Doesn't really affect much. But if there is interest in it, especially since it's the first unique weapon of the game, and otherwise unique weapons have a limited lifespan, I would be willing to download a weapon repair mod. Should be super simple. Just a trader giving you the option to repair your weapon for money. Nothing too serious. There was another bit of ambience there. I know that ambience wasn't a real firefight because there should be nothing out there, but the military base that cordons off the zone from the rest of the world. That would be the rookie camp over there, an abandoned village from the time before the Chernobyl incident. And at the end of this road, you can kind of hear it, is a military checkpoint. It will constantly blast messages about how no one should be in the zone. You can see right there, your icon, your little crosshair here, will actually change depending on what you're looking at. If you're looking at a friend, it'll be green. If you're looking at a neutral stalker, it will be yellow. If you're looking at an enemy, it will be red. You can actually see a bit of detail about any particular stalker or military member or bandit that you're looking at. There is Sergeant. Ooh, I'm not sure I should try and pronounce that. Tell us his faction. He's in the military, obviously. Let's take a look through our binoculars. Same thing for our crosshair as for these boxes here. They're outlined in whatever color fits their relationship with us. Now, there actually is a piece of unique intel in those buildings that you can capture early game and turn in for good reward. But it's quite dangerous. As you can see, those guys all have actual assault rifles. And they have very good gear. Unless you're getting lots and lots of headshots, it ain't worth the effort. You can get a lot of good gear, a lot of ammunition, a lot of weaponry early on in game, but it's a pain. Let's see. Private Kurvitz Military gives you their name and their rank. I may go and attack it at some point in the future, though. Possibly, if I do download that weapon repair mod, because the noiseless Viper will be very handy, as it'll make it harder for them to spot me, and if I can get some headshots, I should be able to take them down relatively easily, although it is quite populated. Petya Absolute. Like I said, many stalkers have odd names because, since we're in the zone, we are all criminals, all of us. Everyone here is a criminal except for the military soldiers. And technically they're criminals if, like those guys at the Cordon, at the railway bridge, they are not doing their job in killing us. So technically they're criminals too. But it is a common part of stalker culture to make up or receive a nickname, and you use that instead of your real name in the zone. Since you'd have to be an idiot to use your real name while committing a crime. Let's turn in these quests.
Got anything valuable?
Right. See, those are slug rounds. Let's take a look at this. I can now unload specifically my shotgun. And if I drag... Let's see, if I put it in here. Let's see, how am I supposed to do this again? It's been a while,
Well,
bear with me.
Good hunting, Stalker.
I have to leave this bunker because I cannot equip a weapon while in it. Let's see, how was it? How did it go again? Unload. So that would be drop everything. Well, what if I drop everything here? There we go. It was a bit of a faff, but it worked. Now I've got slugs. Less spread, which is a good and bad thing. So a slug is essentially one big giant blob of lead instead of multiple particles. So that means that I have less of a chance to hit anything, but it is more accurate. Let's turn in the rest of our stuff, and I'll show you a neat little trick you can do.
So,
We're going to trade in the old leather jacket, and we're going to trade in whichever one of these pistols is the most damaged. That one's damaged. This one is slightly more damaged. We'll trade those in.
not bad. Some pretty good stuff you've got there.
Hey, look at that. Tidy 3,700, 36 Soviet rubles.
Now that's the way to go.
Now, you might have noticed I have a jellyfish artifact. He wants a jellyfish, so I will accept this quest. I'm up for it. I'm here for the job. Instantly receive it. Got some vodka, got some money. Let's see. Now, as you accept and complete jobs in each of these 4 different categories here, he will get new jobs. Now you might notice here, find the Stoneflower artifact. You might remember that I almost died trying to get one. So we'll take this quest. I'm up for it. I've already got it, so there we go. Another vodka, but this time 3,000 rubles. See, now they want a much more useful artifact. The chunk of meat will increase the rate at which your marked one bleeds, but it does increase your overall health. But I won't take anything at this time because it's just about time for me to head out. I thank y'all for joining me for this lovely little voyage in the Cordon, and I hope you return next time. Bye.